Mark Carney will spend all the coming week in Asia attending summits with other world leaders, and it's a chance to try to forge some new trade and security relationships with other countries to partially offset the decline in Canadian exports to the United States, caused, of course, by Donald Trump's tariffs. The Prime Minister is in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia this weekend. He'll be participating in the summit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. That's a group that includes growing economies like Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia, with whom Carney recently completed a trade agreement. Now, Trump will be at that summit, so there's the possibility of a chat with Carney, either a formal bilateral sit-down meeting or what is called in summit parlance a pull-aside, a more casual conversation on the margins of the main event. Now, Chinese President Xi Jinping will also be in Kuala Lumpur, and there's an expectation that he will, at some point over Carney's 9-day trip to Asia, meet with Xi to discuss Canada-China trade and the tariffs each country has imposed on each other. China putting tariffs on Canadian-made canola and seafood in response to Canada's decision to put a 100% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles. Now, Carney will continue on to Singapore for a visit with the city-state's prime minister. Canada does not do a huge amount of trade with Singapore, but Carney, of course, always eager in these days to promote investment and further business ties. Then he's off to Gwangju, South Korea for the G20 summit. This is the big event on the trip, and again, there's going to be opportunities for potential one-on-one meetings with Trump, with Xi, if they don't happen in Kuala Lumpur, and also with Indian leader Narendra Modi. Now, Carney and Modi met at the G7 in Alberta in June. Modi was invited as a special guest to attend because India, of course, not a member of the G7 regularly. And the diplomatic relationship between the two countries kind of thawing out a bit after that tension that began in 2023 when the then Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, accused Modi's government of participating in the assassination of a Canadian Sikh activist in British Columbia. But while Carney travels, business continues here in Ottawa in the House of Commons. MPs will be debating the government's new bill to tighten bail and sentencing rules and make other reforms to the criminal justice system. And they'll also be preparing for the Carney government's first federal budget. That's due the following week on November 4th. The Prime Minister has warned that this budget will balance, or at least try to balance, new investments in so-called nation-building projects, big infrastructure things like pipelines, railways, electricity interties. And that's going to be offset with some frugality, what the Prime Minister calls sacrifices, possibly including cuts to government services and possibly reductions to the size of the federal government. We'll be watching this week for any more details from Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne, but what the budget he's going to deliver will actually contain. Glenn McGregor, City News, Ottawa.